Ladies and gentlemen, it's July 31st, and if you've been watching, you know what that means. Battlefield 6 multiplayer reveal happened earlier today. I watched it already. I kept up with some content. I just wanted to make sure I knew what I was coming at before I made this, and I think some of you have probably already seen it. Some of you, this might be the first watch. We're gonna go over all of it. Our trustworthy source, Twitter, is gonna take care of us. But for those of you that have seen it, you already know we're pretty excited. We're gonna keep it pretty light today, kind of break it down as much as we can without, rambling the whole time, I guess. Detail dumping, whatever. But we're gonna get into it. We're gonna show you some stuff. I'm excited. I hope you're excited. And I ain't do I dare say Battlefield is back? Obviously, we're gonna start with the trailer first. We got our trusty source pulled up. Let's just get right into this. I'm gonna just crank the volume's cranked. Let's rip. God damn. Oh. Oh, hearing that battlefield audio, that is just next fucking level. Just insane. We might see some stuff that shows it here in a moment. Um, I mean, you can see, if you're familiar with Battlefield, that last map, Operation Firestorm for Battlefield 3, they also had it in Battlefield 4. Hopefully, specifically, in a small detail, but I just something you enjoy. I hope they're adding jets that are actually taking off again. I haven't watched as much of the streamer gameplay and everything's after the reveal and everything. I watched a lot more of this, so I'll have to see. Somebody might have already discussed it or showed it. But I think taking off the jets and everything off the runway was just fantastic, and just the feeling of doing it just like made you feel good. In the direct, they discussed a lot that they, from the ground up redid the movement, redid gunplay, because obviously gunplay is a huge part of how enjoyable a game is to play, especially long term. 9 maps are dropping when the game drops. We do have a release date. I'll get to that in a moment. But 9 maps are dropping, including Operation Firestorm. As far as I'm aware, that's the only map. Well, that's the only map they've up front said is a remake that they're adding. We don't know the name of all 9 maps, so but we do know we kind of bounce around all over the world. We got what is it, Gibraltar, somewhere in New York City, Operation Firestorm in the Middle East. So we're kind of bouncing all over. The maps look good. They did tease some other stuff we'll get to here in a sec. We're just gonna kind of go up the line here. They pretty much shared most stuff here. Here we got the collector's edition. So we'll show this first part. So this is the Phantom Edition. Uh, looks like vehicle skin, operator. You know how it goes. Special dog tag. That's the same as it's always been. Knife, emblem, charm. Sniper looks kind of tough. Some people are kind of giving it some grief that it has red. I think we're just nitpicking, like we know the community is exhausted with things like in Call of Duty, all the skins and camos. I think this is very tasteful. They can have their microtransactions and their skins. We can have a game that has a little bit of red, like it's okay. Extra operators, it looks like Phantom Squad, Battlefield Pro token. So just, we can assume Battle Pass, 25 tier skips. Kind of expected a Battle Pass was coming. I'd be shocked to see any newer games come out without some variation of a Battle Pass. Gives players something to do. If you have to, I'm assuming in this Pro, maybe you have to buy the Battle Pass to get the full. I don't know. It's not a way they make money, but if it's tasteful stuff like this, where it has a little extras, little extra, like we're all right. We're all right. We can get over that. I think there was a second skin in there. Looks like we're now get the Tombstone pack. So another operator. Unless I'm tripping, looks kind of similar. Oh, that is what that is. I know why it shows two then. Stickers, emblems. We got a LMG. To my understanding, a lot of people have been using the LMG and really like it. So that's pretty good. I like that unconventional weapons. Maybe I know LMG sometimes in games like this pop off, but I think I think the gunplay looks good. I think the LMGs. We saw this. Oh yeah, here we go. 9 multiplayer maps, one being Operation Firestorm. As we discussed, we got some essentially in this video.
You can mount weapons on walls, crouch while sprinting, and even perform agile rolls while escaping enemy fire.
So, in my opinion, this is Battlefield's take on Omni movement, which I'm not upset about. I didn't in Call of Duty, I didn't mind Omni movement to start with. This looks a lot more smooth though, like the roll when you jump, like that's okay. The peek around corners obviously okay. Not necessarily full bore sprint dive to the side, which I didn't mind it. Like I'm saying, mobility is always good. Just the smoothness of the mobility is a big part of what in my opinion, what affects how much people enjoy the game. So I think that looks very smooth, easygoing, especially going into a Battlefield game, Battlefield franchise. Up here we got Portal. If you're not familiar, Battlefield 2042 added Portal. It essentially is Halo Forge. You can go into maps, at least in the current Portal in 2042. It has a lot of old Battlefield maps and the new Battlefield maps, and you can do, decent bit of customization. You kind of essentially just build your own game mode. This one for Battlefield 6 is immensely more in depth, and as you can kind of see through some of that,
you can also build, share, and play your custom created experiences.
So I mean, like this is like
will enable creators to use an updated
peak and all that stuff. But yeah, it looks like you can go crazy, and it says it features all this. So I mean, as far as I can tell, it might as well be Halo Forge entirely, but with Battlefield, it looks like it does a really good job.
Modifiers will allow players to set up hardcore rule sets with one-shot kills, closed weapons, and so much more, all with full progression and XP gain.
With updates to our UI and navigation systems, it will be easier than ever to find and share exciting new experiences.
I think this looks sick. I think it reminds me of people making missions in GTA Online as well, so it kind of cracks me up. So yeah, it looks like it's gonna have a lot more than the current existing Portal, so that's good. Campaign teaser. We can watch this real quick.
As it's commonly known has crumbled. Alliances that held since the end of World War II. Gone. All the traditional assumptions about who's on whose side, gone. But every crisis is an opportunity. Like the man said, chaos is a ladder.
Fire over here! Bring it down!
And right there, you also saw our release date, October 10th, which is good. I know Battlefield. I think we've had a couple in October timeframes. I think that's good. It gives separation of especially streamers and content creators the ability to play Battlefield and play Call of Duty. It's not making you pick one or the other, because if Call of Duty is training more streamers and all that are going to play Call of Duty initially, and then some of the hype's going to die at Battlefield because some people are going to be over it, and you just don't get the same thing. So I think separating them is good content creation wise. I think it's good player wise. Especially with casuals. They like Call of Duty. We don't get a Battlefield very often. Maybe they want to give Battlefield a shot this year. It gives them time to do both. As you see here, we got some beta dates. So if you're in Battlefield Labs, or have at least signed up for Battlefield Labs already, you already get to play this current weekend of the first, second, third, I believe is what it is. I don't, or maybe through to the seventh. I guess I'm not sure. Yeah, I didn't really see, I guess. But you got early access here, the 7th and 8th. So that's early access. So if you watch the streamers today that are streaming all this stuff during the event and all that, you'll be able to play 7th and 8th. I'm assuming if you have the labs, you'd also be able to play the 7th and 8th. And then we got weekend 1, which is an open beta. All of this is essentially open. Early access is kind of closed, but they're calling it early access. But we got quite a few days of this. It's free to play, no pre-orders required, no nothing. So I mean, you gotta tip it to them. I mean, they're all in on making sure the community is involved here, which has been their whole thing with the development cycle this whole time is community involvement. With only launches on current gen Xbox and PlayStation, and obviously PC, no old gen, which good. The Xbox One originally came out in like 2013. We are long past that, and especially just in the last like 5 to 6 years, how much technology's advanced. Like, it is just tremendously holding us back in seeing 2042 on even old consoles versus the current consoles was just despicable, like to even let people spend money on their game like that. So this is significantly better. Here's some gameplay. We're not gonna watch that, but obviously you can always check out CharlieIntel, or if you go to Battlefield's YouTube page, you can watch the whole event. Fantastic. Like I said, highly recommend. Some more Battlefield gameplay. Here kind of has our addition packs. Main thing we already kind of looked at. I mean, it has the XPs, the skins, exactly what you'd expect. And obviously, standard edition is not going to have any of this, because why would you buy it? Just obvious. Here's some. I do want to watch this. I did see this already on here. The weapon customization. Feels very kind of like Warzone during the Cold War era, and more specifically Vanguard, like 10 attachments. I don't know how much you obviously can make a weapon class creation unique, which I don't think it needs to be more unique. I think it is perfect, like in the sense of like even Call of Duty, like having it simple. Looks like there's maybe a little bit less attachments in this than like something like Call of Duty, which is also good. It seems like it keeps realistic stuff. Kind of gives you options. You have different lasers and stuff to unlock as you level up, which is good. Still gives you something to do, but it doesn't look like a disgusting amount of attachments that are going to be added, and you need to grind and hit max level in order to even get the good scopes or whatever. Which Battlefield's never really had an issue as much of having like a scope that changes the whole usability of a gun, whereas Call of Duty tends to have broken attachments and stuff like that. So, not saying Battlefield doesn't, but they're different. Nothing you saw, I will point out here real quick. This right here, what it was kind of highlighting is you can drag teammates, and while you drag the teammates, you can revive them as you go. So I just want to point that's what that was, and that's to me very, very unique and very cool. Thing is, we can say that we were a military shooter in modern times. I don't know. Does say military shooters, that gives me high hopes that this specifically will stay a little more in theme, which like we were saying, I mean, I don't mind. I don't really. The Call of Duty skins were a little crazy, but it's Call of Duty, so I didn't expect as much. That would be kind of crazy to see like some unicorn dude fucking cooking a fried chicken on his AR. So that's probably good that's how I take this, that they're not gonna do it. I will say in modern times, I don't know. Modern times are microtransactions is the way I see it. So I don't know if they mean the game takes place modern times, kind of the vibe they're going with, or if I don't know. That's just like little concern, not even concern, but thought. It did confirm the battle royale with this teaser here. So it's funny enough though, in that it says coming to Battlefield Labs. In the viewing, if you watch it, it says Battlefield Labs and then click like almost just changes to Battlefield 6. So I don't know if they're gonna do a labs testing on it between now and the game release. I don't know. I'm honestly not sure. Maybe they'll just do another like a beta weekend for it. Maybe they'll just drop it how it is. I don't know. I'm not sure there. I don't know. Maybe it was just a typo, but they do have some articles about what we know so far. Main thing you can kind of get the gist. It's Firestorm, obviously, which Firestorm in Battlefield 5 was regarded actually fairly good. They just didn't ever update it. Like you can't. Same thing. A lot of people had grief with in Verdansk and Warzone. Um, how do you release something that was popular as fuck, game changing arguably by adding a new realm of style of game, as in battle royale, to your game, and then just essentially never really updated. Because all we ever got in Warzone, for the most part, was the gun updates, at least especially the original Verdansk. And then after a long, long time, we were able to get the dome broken into, and then we eventually got a train. But the train didn't really get given any crazy updates. Like, didn't add more stops. Like the train was the train. And dome. Like adding dome was good, but that is exactly it. Like, maybe not every season. I don't need a whole map revamp, but I hate to even do it, but look at Fortnite. Like Fortnite's whole thing and staying relative is they have their chapters and their seasons, and both of which have varying effects on the map, and it keeps it fresh. You're not playing the same map for 3 years at a time, and even now we got Verdansk back, and it's good in some ways, bad in other ways. But when the only thing changing is the gun, like that gets boring. Like especially the people that don't grind the game or want to go play other games that maybe don't have the newest gun or don't want to grind the battle pass. So hopefully they have a lot to work on here. It looks, I mean, that even that snippet, like that image looks good. Like things look crisp. It looks fun. The golf cart going into the pool is funny. Like, from my understanding, the storm kills you instantly. So no pesky glitches like somebody spamming a stim in the smoke and then 10 minutes later running out after everybody's died. So as long as we keep up with stuff like that, like I think we're good. As long as we keep up with actual additions to the map or of some sort. I don't know if it's going to be a set map. That's another thing too, or if they're going to rework all the conquest maps and make them all like where you can queue into them. Like when you load in, what map are you going to get type of a thing. I don't know. I haven't heard anyone talk about that. It might be some stuff these guys know, like in these articles and stuff, but just openly talking like I'm not sure. I kind of hope it's one map. I think that gives people more ability to learn the map and have fun and have their own spots to drop. Obviously 9 maps you learn it just you're just diluting your information a little bit. Got tons and tons of guns available during the beta. It looks like AKs, ARs, snipers, LMGs. I have noticed a lot in the trailer they're carrying like the P320, so I think that's kind of funny. Not funny, but with current things, it's a little interesting. A bunch of different variations of stuff. It looks like mostly pretty grounded, pretty realistic. I don't see anything in there that's like insane or some like DARPA deep state, conspiracy theory gun. P18, P320, same thing. What do we got here? Main thing with the factions, you have Pax Armada and NATO. Usually Battlefield, I think there's generally only 2 factions, but they're kind of keeping it the old style, which I think is good. Recon, has its own gadgets and certain guns it can use. Engineer has certain guns, certain gadgets, same across the board, and each have essentially an ability they can do. I think it's good. Engineers obviously the only ones that can heal a vehicle, and medics obviously the only ones that can revive teammates, and recon. I mean, there's some other things, but main thing is redeploy beacons. Be able to get your boys back in the fight even if you're under fire, like stuff like that. I think is really cool. I think that's what I enjoyed so much about Battlefield 4. So seeing this come back, in my opinion, is good. Some people are a little mad, like that it's not balanced. Like the engineer primarily has SMGs, and they're like, why does this guy have SMGs when it's their big long range maps? He's there to carry his tools and equipment. Maybe he needs to save some weight with a lightweight weapon. I don't know, but like I don't think that's a bad addition. All that's literally how it was in Battlefield 4 for sure. I think 3 as well. Like I don't know who's really complaining about that. We already talked about the betas, kind of got some other stuff. So here it looks like they have a little more. August 4th is preload, early access, August 7th at 1 a.m. Pacific time. anyone who signed up for Battlefield Labs or a code via Twitch. So it looks like even if you watch the Twitch, you get the same early access as the Labs people. So that's honestly kind of good because I was like, the whole thing when they announced the Labs thing is they said anyone who signed up before today will be given this. So it's kind of like, oh, well, shit, you know, and I tried like 5 times and the damn thing wouldn't even work for me. So I wouldn't even like go past the sign up, and probably some user error there, but you know, you can only mess with something so much before you're like, all right, I'm done. Let's see, competing with Call of Duty, since we've discussed this so much. We're clearly super excited about Battlefield 6. We believe our game is unique. There's something about it you can't get with any other games. Our focus is on delivering the best Battlefield game we can, a game our old school hardcore fans will love, which is good. Like, Battlefield was never Call of Duty, you know? Like, the people that love Call of Duty, like that style of game, probably aren't the people or the audience that Battlefield needed to be going for, you know? Like, they already had their set audience, and you really want to get your set audience, your old school fans, and the people that are kind of up in there about what they'll play. You know, give them a reason to choose you over that, because the COD sweats are probably not the people that care enough about your game for you to care about that market. You're never gonna get 100% market value, you know, or cap or whatever control. Like, go for the sweats that love your franchise, keep them happy, and go for give the players that are undecided a reason to come to your franchise, you know? Like, I don't know, they were trying really hard to compete with Call of Duty, and Battlefield 2042 wasn't direct. I mean, it didn't really have like the same crazy skins or anything like Call of Duty, but some of the time to kill and stuff like that, sometimes it was like, damn, bro, I'm playing Battlefield. Like, let me do that stuff. Like, let me play Battlefield. Let me drive tanks, you know? Like, sometimes with Battlefield 2042, it's just too much going on where it didn't need to, and too little going on where it should have had. Pro token looks like, so yeah, and that's kind of what I thought. I wasn't sure because we've had Battlefield Premium or hard, or yeah, I think it's Battlefield Premium back in Battlefield 4. I don't remember exactly, but Black Cell. And that's okay if we have to buy it. I'd rather there be a free version and a $10 version like we used to have with Call of Duty's Battle Pass. That was okay. I think having a $10 and a $30 version, I know you get your skips, but it's like, I still feel like a $10 version should have skips. You know, like, let me do my skips because I bought the pass, instead of, you know, me grinding to get the 10 free things throughout the 100 tiers of the battle pass, you know, stuff like that. Like, come on. Oh, we got a helicopter. They said they made the controls much more simple and like entirely overworked them. I don't think that's a good reference. I think,
I swear to God, dude, it's inverted. Did you make my?
I mean, it might be inverted or something, you know, because I think that's how Battlefield defaults. I don't think Tim is specifically the best person to be like, oh yeah, let me learn how to fly. That is funny though.
I swear to God on everything, I was not clip farming. I was
That is
trying.
really funny. We got some play to earn. So these are like the beta stuff, which I like when they do this stuff too. Gives you incentive to really grind it, like if you want. I kind of think that all terrain skin looks tough. I mean, Gillies obviously always look tough, but that looks pretty sick. I like that it has some color, you know. That's okay. Color is okay. You know, we're not scared of color. Player card sick. Bat Company dog tag, that's kind of tough too. Yeah, we'll definitely be buying. You think, chat? We're buying. You know, we got a lot of gameplay. Like I said, definitely check out, like, you know, Twitter, CharlieIntel, Modern Warzone, all those guys, fantastic. You know, the Battlefield Twitter page alone will have a lot of stuff. Obviously, they're a little more biased and really going to sell you on the product. These guys are, you know, playing in everything. And so far, everything seems mostly positive. I don't really see a lot of people being like, fix this. Squad match is kind of cool. This is no vehicles and stuff, or at least big vehicles. Might have four-wheelers and stuff. I don't quite remember. This is essentially a team deathmatch, though. So I think that's pretty cool. It looks like there's multiple squads, though, based on this kill feed. So that might be kind of cool. But that, I mean, that really summarizes a lot of it. I mean, we have launch date. We know they care. We have labs. We have betas. Like, I am hesitant to say, you know, because of the time old thing with Call of Duty, but Battlefield might be back. And I'm excited to see where it goes. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed the video, you already know, don't forget, any support is appreciated. Like, comment, subscribe, anything. Share with your friends. Send to a dear family member. Who knows? You know, maybe Grandma Mary wants to watch some Fun Mom 2000. You never know. But if you made it this far in the video, I appreciate you anyways. Even if you don't follow, even if you don't subscribe, anything, doesn't matter. You're the best. You guys are goated. All the views and everything I always get from you guys are always fantastic. I just want to say I truly appreciate you guys. And that's another Fun Bomb 2000. You know, a little raw news, you know, a little something from your boy. All right. Have a good rest of your day. And it was fun. See you next time.